This fall has been pretty wet, and if water has creeped into your crawl space or basement, there's a way to make repairs and to keep that from happening again in the future. Today's ciHome sponsor is Wood's Basement System. Dave Thompson back with us. Hi,
hey,
Dave.
Yes, good to see you.
Good to have
in studio.
I know, it's great, and welcome to our new home,
It
by
is
the way.
beautiful in here.
We love it. Thankfully, no water issues yet.
Right.
But there are plenty of homeowners who have experienced those this fall, and from what I understand, there are things that can be done both inside the home and outside the home to keep this from happening.
You know, and if I may, since this is November, let's thank our veterans this month, right? Because we wouldn't be doing this if they didn't do what they did. So anyway, thank you, veterans. Really appreciate you. But yeah, we get the question all the time. Are you going to waterproof it from the outside, or are you going to waterproof it from the inside? So the answer is yes. We have a lot of different products, and we can install them in a way to make sure your basement's going to stay dry all the time.
Is one better than the other, inside or outside?
You know, our preference is to do it from the inside, only because on the outside, you're talking about some type of device that handles water that they put filters on. And the problem with the filters are, once the sediment and soil gets on the filter and the water can't get in the pipe, you're going to get wet again.
It just clogs itself up.
And so we use a water guard system that's a clog-free system. It's got a flow rate actually greater than this.
Really?
Because of the drain tile has these little openings to let water in.
Okay.
Ours are larger, and the flow rate is better than this.
And this is exterior as well?
This is interior.
That's interior.
So we're going to go interior.
Where does this go?
On top of the footing. So we take a section of the floor out, and then this rests on top of the footing, and then the concrete is poured back into this. All right? So the floor is back here, strong enough to hold your freezer full of food. You're in good shape. So the nice thing about doing it on the inside, because if you do it on the outside, you got to do the full excavation.
Sure.
And you're sealing the walls. The water still comes up in the floor. So the water can still get in your basement, even though you spend all the time sealing it.
So this is on the inside. Water gets to it and goes
to a sump pump.
Where? Okay.
To a sump pump. If we're doing it on interior, you feed the water into sump pump, and you make sure you pump it out and make sure it stays dry all the time.
So you know exactly, I guess one of the other advantages on the inside is you know exactly where the water is going when you're done with it. This may not be that way, right?
Well, even with this, if you can't get the water to drain to daylight, you have to put a sump on the exterior.
Oh, so that seems like a mess.
Well, it's just another mechanical thing that can fail on the exterior, and it's just, you know, let's stay on the inside. Because if you do have to dig out on the outside, all your landscaping's got to go. A porch has got to go. So if you're doing it on the outside, it's a lot of digging. It's a big mess.
So obviously, it's pretty obvious when someone has issues in their home, there's water in their basement or in their crawl space, you can put your head down there, and if you see something floating, you know you've got an issue. What do you guys do from that point? What's the process? How long does it take?
Well, it depends on the size of the basement and how much of the system we have to add to our water guard system. But 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
And we get in there. We don't spike the job is what the term is. You come in and work a day and you're gone for 2 days. You come back a day and you come back on the finish on Saturday. Right. We come in, do the job, A to Z, get in, get out, and you know, 2 to 3 days.
And I'm assuming you can help people decide which one is better, because I would assume not every structure will work with the interior system.
Well, with our other products, you'll be surprised. That is the preferred method that we use, because we can give a life of the structure warranty on that.
Wow.
Whereas on the outside, you're talking 10 to 20 years.
Okay.
Life of the structure inside, 10 to 20 years.
Is there much of a cost difference between the two?
It's huge. You know, just because if you're doing the landscaping, you're doing the porch rebuild, you're talking about other things other than just keep your basement dry. If you do it on the inside, you bring your items in so we can work the perimeter, put a sump pump in, get out of there in 2 or 3 days.
No excavation?
No excavation.
Redoing all the landscaping, all that kind of stuff?
All that extra additional cost.
Sounds like there are a whole lot of benefits to that.
If you let the problem go too long, sometimes you got to do both, and now you're talking some real serious.
All right,
so
well,
fix it sooner.
You let the problem go too long.
That's right.
Call Dave, and he and his guys will take care of you and make sure everything is dry in your basement and stays that way for a good long time. We'll connect you with everything you need to know about Wood's Basement Systems on our website. Just go to ciliving.tv.